What is up, guys? Rick Cacus here, and today we are going to be discussing a scout rifle in Destiny that has absolutely blown my mind for how effective this weapon is in PvP. Guys, this weapon is so good, every time you get a kill, it disconnects your victim and gives them the error code Get Good. This weapon is so good, you double your elo every time you show up to a match with it. This weapon is so good, I got an AC 130 kill streak in Destiny using it. It's seriously quite good. I was just shocked by how well I was performing with this gun. And so, we're going to be talking about what it is, how to get it, and why this gun is so good and why its archetype is also, I think, seriously deadly. And so guys, if you enjoy this content and want to see more, please remember to support the video by liking, commenting, and especially sharing. It's a simple thing to do, but it really does help me out, and I appreciate those of you who do it. Now, what is this, apparently god gun that I'm talking about? Well, it's the last word. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck that gun. It is the Cocytus SR4 Scout Rifle. A very, very old scout rifle. You can still acquire this weapon from the Gunsmith. So, by leveling up the Gunsmith, you have a chance to get this weapon, or you can get the Gunsmith package for this weapon and wait till the appropriate day, hopefully get a good roll from that as well. So that's how you get your own Cocytus SR4. I've actually had this weapon for quite a while. I got it from the Gunsmith by just leveling him up. I recognized it was a very good roll and I kept it around, but I never brought it into the Crucible until the last Iron Banner came around. I was doing a live stream and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try out this gun. How bad could it be? Literally, first game, like basically I think it was a first life as well, 10 kill streak. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, there might be something to this. And maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe I'm playing a terrible team. Doing well with a gun, despite what I keep hearing in the comment section, doesn't actually make that gun good. It makes potentially you good, or it makes the team you're versing bad. So I kept using it. And match after match after match, 6.0, 7.0 KDs, 10 kill streaks without even trying. I'm on stream trying to be funny, looking at the chat and still getting 10 kill streaks. Like, what is going on? And for me, I've never been a super hardcore PvP player. I've definitely done my part in PvP. I'm definitely not terrible at PvP. I can hold my own for sure, but I'm not a guy who super enjoys it even and is going around playing PvP constantly. So for me to be just going on 10 kill streaks all of a sudden without even trying, that kind of shows you how good this gun is. And by the way, the question does come up, well, wait a minute, Iron Banner's kind of been a while since that's happened. Yup, I was planning on making this video for quite a while, but all of the whole Age of Triumph stuff started to come out, and that took up most of my time, so this kind of got put on the back burner. But I wanted to bring this to you guys kind of before the Age of Triumph, because this archetype of scout rifle, where the Cocytus lies, is the high damaging scout rifle archetype. So it does the most damage possible that you can get on a scout rifle. Now, interestingly enough, I made a video a while back saying, hey, you know what? The high damaging pulse rifles, and I was actually specifically using the really old Trials of Osiris weapon, the Messenger, and doing really well with that and saying, you know what? These pulse rifles are kind of really good right now. The meta is definitely a primary focus meta, aside from, of course, sidearms, but aside from those, everyone's trying to kill each other with primaries. So primary weapons that deal a lot of damage, that kill in very high, or I should say low, time to kills, are now really, really effective in PvP. And that was the argument I made for those pulse rifles. However, that same logic applies to this higher damage archetype of scout rifles. When you're using one of these guns, if you're using the Cocytus, you are killing in 0.8 seconds. That is faster. That is a faster time to kill then the hand cannons, then the palindrome, then the hawk moon, then those type of guns. They kill in 0.84 or 85, I believe. But this gun, you will get a slight time to kill bonus over something like a palindrome, over something like an Isoluna. Some of the best guns, widely considered the best guns in PvP, you kill just a little bit faster. And that's a big deal. So my argument for why this high damage scout rifle archetype is so good right now really boils down to the fact that, again, in the meta, everyone's trying to out-primary each other. Well, if you're walking around with the fastest killing primaries, you're gonna have a huge advantage. And that's really what you get when you use this archetype. They kill incredibly fast. Now, of course, they do have their downside. They shoot rather slowly. But unlike another slow shooting gun type, the hand cannons, these scout rifles aren't as good in closer ranges. They have more restrictive sight pictures, their handling isn't as good, their in-air accuracy isn't as good, and so hand cannons will probably beat these things still in those close ranges. However, in a medium range engagement, it's no competition. The scout rifle dump trucks pretty much every time. And in a long range engagement, it's just all over. I've had so many people who get too reliant on their hand cannons try to outgun me when I'm using this thing with a hawk moon or whatever, and it's just a free kill. It's just so easy to take those people down. And in fact, upcoming in only one more day is the Age of Triumph, and with that content addition, the hand cannons are getting nerfed even a little bit more. They're getting their range reduced by 3 meters. So now hand cannons with the Age of Triumph are going to be regulated to even more close range engagements. And your medium range engagements have just got a little bit more favorable for you. 3 more meters now have been added to your optimal range and have been taken away from hand cannon's optimal range essentially. Now, that being said, there is no actual buff to the scout rifles, but again, your competitors, they have a 3 meters disadvantage now with the Age of Triumph, and that is definitely something you shouldn't overlook. And also, in the same patch, the No Land Beyond is getting nerfed, which is another one of your main competitors when using this gun. You want to engage people at those medium to long range encounters. That's when you shine with these scout rifles. And previously, the No Land Beyond, that could be a problem. That's kind of where they like to hang out as well. But now that the No Land Beyond with this patch is going to have substantially more flinch, wow, another main competitor of yours just got knocked down a peg. So this scout rifle, a scout rifle that I absolutely crushed with, that I just was blown out of my mind for how good this gun is, it's now with the new patch going to be likely even better. And that is pretty astonishing. So, I wanted to bring you guys that argument for why the high damaging scout rifles are so good in my opinion right now, because even if you can't get, my roll of the Cocytus, or even if you can't get a Cocytus, I would definitely recommend trying out a good roll of that archetype, because seriously, I think they're pretty dangerous. But why is the Cocytus specifically the gun I'm showcasing? Why do I like this gun so much compared to all the others in its archetype? Well, simply put, it has an insane amount of stability. Seriously, I have hand-laid stock. It takes away a little bit of the range, but it increases the stability pretty massively. And that's why my roll, I think, is so good. Now, couple that with other good perks. Triple tap to increase your pretty low magazine is fantastic. And Firefly is great as well. But again, the main reason I really like this gun is because it has an unusually high amount of stability for its archetype. Now, some people will say you don't need that high of stability, that you can manually recenter your gun after each shot. And while that is a fair argument, and if you are someone who's used to using this archetype and is used to using something like the Jade Rabbit and recentering after every shot, yeah, you may not need as much stability, but it is so nice being able to put your sights over a target and just keep shooting. This gun, you don't have to manually recenter, and that factor drastically increases your ease of use with this weapon, and actually makes it, I've found, so much easier to get kills while in a firefight, because you're getting shot at and you're flinching all over the place. If you couple that with very high recoil per shot and you having to recenter because of your shooting and because you're getting shot at, it's just going to be a nightmare because you actually have to land all of your shots. You're only going to get that insane optimal time to kill that I talked about earlier if you land all 3 headshots. So if you're trying to do that while being shot at, while having insane recoil, you're making things pretty hard on yourself. But with the Cocytus, because it can get that insane stability so high that, if you can see, I can take off hand laid stock and I still have hugely more stability than the dead orbit keystone of the same archetype. Like, I basically have the keystone plus perfect balance, even more than that, just in my starting stability, and that gets even better. And this super high stability, again, it increases the ease of use, it makes it easier to get kills while under fire, and it just makes it way more consistent when you're landing those 3 hyper deadly headshots. So guys, it's time to go back to the gunsmith and start doing those test weapons again, because trust me, if you can level up and get a Cocytus with this same roll or something similar, it will melt for a lot of you who enjoy these type of guns in the Crucible. I absolutely loved it, and I was astonished for how good it made me perform. And so guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found it informative. Now, if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you want to see more Destiny content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.